What if a robot? It goes to wipe your butt, and instead of picking up toilet paper, it picks up a kitchen knife.
Well, quite.
Well, there we go.
Move the refugees into abattoirs.
Yes, because have you seen the inflation on the cost of food at the moment? And look, with these people...
Sorry, are you advocating cannibalism? Good evening and welcome to yet another episode of Deadliners. And we've got a fabulous studio audience tonight.
Give yourselves a
The place is full. Let's give them a hand. And we're going to start with Andy. And he's going to talk about how social media has become the modern day stocks, as in pillory, which, by the way, is spelled O-R-Y, not A-R-Y. But anyway, Andy's going to talk to us about social media and, being the modern day version of the stocks in the middle of the town square.
He's got it wrong already, right? Old Flash Harry here got it wrong. Andy's old style comedian, Mr. Big Bang himself. So lovely to see you all these lovely young people in here. Look, I can still breathe in. Oh, sorry, I swore. The only reason I'm talking about this, it was interesting for me about 2017. I thought to myself, social media is like the modern day sort of pillorying stock kind of thing. Everybody's slagging everybody, being unkind on social. You can say what you like, and the punishment was that you'd get cancelled. People would just rip into each other, and I just sort of made that comparison. And Roger was talking about the stocks. Well, the stocks, stocks are just, all that happens is you get your feet bound with a bit of wood over the top. The pillory is the other one that you put your head through and you get that. That's for more serious crimes, you see. So I was trying to make a comparison and sort of thinking about it now. I haven't come to any conclusions, really. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Nor do we.
It just seemed like a good idea at the time.
I'm just so glad you came before me.
Yeah. I'm just sitting here thinking of, him stuck in the stocks there with time passing, social media just going tick-tock, tick-tock.
Oh, genius. Absolute genius. But I've got it here, like the offence is you'd get put in the stock for drunkenness. You get put in the stock. Drunken, disorderly, wandering beggars would be put in the stocks. Gossiping women, they'd get put in the stocks.
Right,
Sabbath breaking. If you didn't go to church on a Sunday, you would get put in the stocks. And also what was interesting, the time duration. The time duration was really interesting. 4 to 6 hours, just on any given day. You can actually get whipped and flogged as well. So.
Oh, James is like that.
Yes.
Well, not with Andy's. Tell them about this whip that you fashioned. In your gangster days.
In my gangster days,
He's got foam.
I've been to prison, right? Really.
Done bird,
yeah. Like done a bit of time and
bit of bird.
In Wandsworth prison, like Pentonville, the Scrubs, Brixton prison. But you heard that last week, didn't you? You know all about.
Former drug addict.
And dealer.
Clean. 28 years. 28 years.
We wrote this afternoon.
He's going to cock it all up tonight, too.
Oh, I'd love to.
But you came to the conclusion, Andy, that you think we should bring back these methods of punishment.
I think so, yeah.
Because you're annoyed that the shame in the public square has all gone online now.
Yeah, it's all too easy now for them. They just slag each other off on the on the YouTube and that. But it'd be good, wouldn't it? So look at Ralph there. If he got up to something, it'd look good in a set of stocks.
Particularly Ralph, yeah,
look at that face.
One of our
regular
guys.
He was like that with his little face.
Yeah.
Years ago, if you owed money in the co-op, they would put a big thing in the window to say who owed money with your name.
Yeah, just more shaming. We need more shaming in this society. No, not more compassion.
So there's not enough shaming on social media.
So stocks and pillories for mean tweets?
Yeah.
No, for gingers. No, for gingers.
For gingers.
They need some shaving.
Yeah, gingers. Yeah, absolutely.
This is all going to make sense in the edit, ladies and gentlemen. I promise you. Physically, the punishment will be that they would be in the stocks.
In the stocks.
Or the pillories.
All right,
Could they trade stocks and shares?
Yeah. If you're in a stock in a square, is that the new stock market?
There you are.
Oh,
Why not?
Reaching now.
That's true.
I think we're running out of steam on that. So I think we're going to have to move to James now.
Yeah. No, well, you want your notes? You fuck off.
Yeah, it's fine now. Fine, I think.
Yeah.
Well, James is James is going to talk about.
He's going to sound really shite.
James is going to talk about.
What page is it?
Is it 15 minutes?
Yeah, for 15 minutes. Yeah.
Fuck up, will you? Let me
God, he
talk.
gets so aggressive.
James is going to talk about, I mean, the story of the week. It's really hard to believe. The Labour Party, in the persona of Shabana Mahmood and Keir Starmer, have discovered there is a problem with immigration. Can you believe? And it's a good thing that, unlike so many politicians who obfuscate and cover up and don't share the truth with us, they've come out and told us about the problem. Who would have known? Who would have known? Like on the day that their plan to exchange 1 for 1, as Sheila in our audience pointed out, that day they had sent 4 people back and 11,000 came in.
Yeah.
Who would have known it's not working? They've revealed all that to us now and come up with a daring, bold new plan to do something about it. And it's really exciting. And James is going to tell us all about it, because, credit where it's due, folks, after all.
Well, the notes I told Andy to make don't make much sense. So
What a surprise.
I know.
He dictated them to me.
I've got her name right. Shabana Mahmood.
Is she Scottish?
She's Scottish, yes.
She's in the mood.
She wants to draft this new legislation, and but they're moving them out of the migrant hotels, perhaps even into B&Bs. Landladies are concerned, we found out. The landladies are concerned because they think they might use their towels as prayer mats or something. I just thought that I was on television once on Talk, and I said about the migrants, this small boat crisis, the solution is just heat up the channel and introduce sharks. It's kind of like a green rewilding thing. You let nature take its course. They cut that completely out. As did they cut out my best Hitler lines, actually. But about the migrants, it was, so Mahmood, she's obviously, Reform is setting the agenda. They're all aping Farage. She's become like the bride of Farage, like Bride of Frankenstein, hasn't she? She wants to move them into army barracks now, not the hotels, army barracks.
Right.
Which is still going to be close to, families with people. But I've got another solution to them, is what I'm saying. Not army barracks. Why not abattoirs?
Abattoirs?
Yes.
Move the refugees into abattoirs.
Yes, because have you seen the inflation on the cost of food at the moment? And look, with these people...
Sorry, are you advocating cannibalism?
Well, what I am saying is that the people that are coming here, these very exotic people, their meat needs no extra seasoning. They smell and taste of curry anyway, so why not? I think it's a good solution. It is.
You can't use any of this.
You can't.
We know what we
It's a
can use.
neo-English breakfast.
This is gonna have to go. Move on to something more useful.
Meat will be halal, though.
Oh Christ! Can I find something more usable?
There could be
here?
It'll be halal.
No, but
It
once
will
you
be
get
halal.
there'll be halal to pay if you use this.
I think you've got to really understand whether is lamb a phobia.
Is
Only on Pesach.
Only on deadliners.
Well, I've run out of my racist notes. I've got no more racist material anyway.
So how was it for you then?
Pretty awful. Pretty bloody awful. Let's see what's next.
He's got the easy job.
Yeah, no, the easy job is Mark Rivlin and his one-liners.
Oh, that.
Okay, so I've got some one-line jokes about the news from the past week, folks, okay? So we're starting off with the news that came out last night that apparently we're going to, we're in a right bloody mess with the armed forces in the UK.
Yes.
And one of the reasons why there's a problem, certainly we're not going to be able to deal with an invasion, which might happen, but there's a problem with the armed forces. They're too busy having swingers nights.
Really?
They are, yeah, really, yeah. And that's where they leave their car keys on the table. There you go, folks, yeah. Yeah. And apparently, they're so weak, the British Armed Forces, apparently, the French think they can invade now, the French, but they'll do it walking backwards. What are we going to do with Russia? Nothing. Well, they won't be able to do anything with Russia. They won't be putting the boot into Putin. Exactly. Now, we've got a problem now with Chinese agents as well. You read about that in the news?
Yeah.
Big problem about the Chinese. Absolutely. They're going to be targeting British MPs. Yeah. Further details available from Jeremy Corbyn.
That's a low blow.
Yeah.
That's a low blow.
Now, China's opening a super embassy. Have you heard of this?
Yes.
Massive, massive. God knows how many hundreds of thousands of people are going to be in this place. It's going to be huge. And they're going to have the brightest lights ever in the UK. They need to dim some. Whoa. Deary me. Now, we've got the budget next week, haven't we?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And Rachel Reeves said to the Prime Minister, what should I do about this? I don't want to do it. Can we do it next month? He said, yeah, let's budget. Oh, dear me. Now, the thing about Rachel Reeves is this. It's quite simple. We are going to follow Rachel Reeves and her Labour thieves.
Yay.
Yeah, because God knows what's going to happen next week.
Next week.
Now, there's an interesting bit here that you'll really, I don't know whether you've pulled up on this one. It's an interesting one. Like they do in Australia, now they're going to do it in England. They're going to stop these massive hikes in prices for reselling tickets to concerts. Did you hear about
the
this?
touts, yeah.
The touts, absolutely terrible. But they're going to be capped at face value now. So if you want to watch Susan Boyle, Susan Boyle, face value, £2 a ticket.
That's cruel.
Am I going to get cancelled?
I don't know.
I don't know.
You're Jewish. What happened? Something about a Jewish pedophile.
Oh, well, that's a long story. I mean, I'm going to be open with you. It's true. I'm Jewish and I'm a paedophile. So I say to the children, would you like to buy a sweet? Okay, that one went down well, didn't it?
That's Roger's favourite.
That's my favorite.
Yes, that's his
Yeah,
favourite.
but
Yeah.
you changed it around.
And finally, the Scottish football team have reached the World Cup. Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
They've been at the World Cup for about 500 years. So it's quite interesting, actually. Scotland have qualified for the World Cup. All I could think about was David Bowie. Is the life on fried Mars?
Oh,
Okay.
oh,
And it's
fried
been-
Mars.
Yeah, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much. God bless you. Thank you. The king of one-liners.
Okay, thank you. And now we've got Brooke Hare, who's going to talk about the mountain of waste dumped in Oxfordshire.
He's ready. He's ready.
Thank you, Roger.
He's poised.
Everyone, if you didn't know, there's been a illegal landfill discovered in Oxfordshire along the Churnwell River, which is the second largest tributary to the Thames, feeding right down here to London. We're talking about hundreds of tons of garbage, of waste. Local authorities say they have just discovered it. Yeah. So it's sort of like when all the parties at Downing Street during lockdown, Boris just didn't see them happening, you know? And that's what's going on, only this is a lot worse because it's a threat to our water supply.
A threat to our London water?
There's a Lib Dem MP up there, Colin Miller. He wants Parliament to bail him out. He wants basically all of us to bail out Oxfordshire for this dump that they overlooked. And I can't help but think that local authorities probably knew it was there when it was about 1/10 the size. But if it's 1/10 the size, they may have bore the cost of cleaning it up instead of now where it's too big to fail. Yeah, so it's sort of like the old saying, if you owe the bank £1 million, you're in trouble. If you owe the bank £10 million, they're in trouble. Thank you. Yeah, so it's like well played, Oxfordshire MPs. I see why the kids attending your local university grow up to be such excellent white-collar criminals. And also the people who filled the trash heap, the illegal landfill, they should pay. I mean, we can catch serial killers, right? So it's like, Sherlock, where did it come from? Well, golly, Watson, I don't know. Aside from all this DNA and mounds of forensic evidence, I don't think we'll ever figure it out. It's clear that they can track down the perpetrators who filled this dump. So anyway, that's not the only thing going on, right?
Can I just interject very quickly
Sure,
about that story? I saw today that it's been found that in that huge, that kind of river of rubbish or whatever it was, a lot of it is from the council themselves. So,
Really?
Fascinating.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
They dump their own, they fly tip their own
they
rubbish.
blamed it on organised crime to start with, but it's now been found out a lot of it comes from the local council.
Yeah, for once the immigrants are innocent.
Yeah. Punish them anyway, then.
Put them in the stocks.
Yes. Take them to the abattoir.
And Andy will take care of that. Yeah, and
Make bacon.
pillory them on social media. Yeah.
Right.
So this isn't the only thing happening with the environment here. We've got some big environmental problems.
Like what?
Well, for example, this year they've done a massive cleanup in the Thames for Wet Wipe Island. Wet Wipe Island is 200 tons of wet wipes.
Really?
Yeah, and it wasn't caused by the toilet waste mafia. Hey, feminine napkins and your Q-tips, I can make them disappear. It wasn't anything like that. It's actually it has to do with our sewage system not being upgraded anytime recently. So anytime there's a heavy rain, the sewage just spills over by default, and it empties raw sewage into the rivers and all along the shorelines. So our infrastructure fees have gone up, but the actual infrastructure hasn't gone up in quality along with it, right? So this year, nearly 4 million hours of raw sewage have been dumped into rivers and coastlines along the UK, which basically puts us, if you just measured the UK by these water standards, it puts us equal to developing countries, i.e. Britain is one of the most advanced third world countries with regard to this, yeah. But only when it rains heavy in England. And who could have seen that happening? You can't ever predict that every year. So there's a guy down in Cornwall that they videoed, this guy, Giles Bristow. He's with a group called Surfers Against Sewage. This is a real organization, yeah? And he said, despite water bills going up on average 123 pounds, nothing has changed. And I was skeptical, but then I looked a little closer at the video, and his surfboard and his torso had shit all over it. Yeah.
It's a rivers of blood speech, rivers of crap speech.
Yeah, it's a
Rivers of crap.
rivers of crap. Yeah.
From Enoch Bowell.
Yeah.
Hey!
I mean, no.
So the challenge is 35 years ago, water companies were sold to private monopolies or as private monopolies. So it's not capitalism, by the way. There were no bids on the sales, no minimum standards set for the acquiring private company, no open competition, right? So this is like, don't let the term private fool you. This is fascism. Yeah, it's the partnership of government and one monopoly owner of the in this case the water. Abu Dhabi owns Thames Water.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, they said they haven't done anything about the pipes now for 150 years, but they are going to do it now. They're putting a big ad out on the telly now, splashing out, saying they're going to
Splashing out.
There you go. Well, I mean, I think at the end, it's been a great profitable enterprise because they haven't had to upgrade the system and they've just been able to increase the fees and pull the profit out. It's like, do we really think a sheik sitting in the UAE cares about what we're drinking? Probably not, right? And Severn Trent Water is owned by Vanguard and BlackRock. So first of all, if any of us are invested in Vanguard funds in our retirement accounts, we are the problem, right? So you can blame the bloody Yanks, or we can blame ourselves. I can do both because it's the same thing for me. But also BlackRock. This is like doing business with Mussolini and being surprised when he betrays you, right? I mean, next year, if any customers complain, they're going to be lined up and shot.
quite right too.
Say again?
Quite right too.
You're right.
And pillory.
And pillory. Yeah.
So my point is to all this is with the water problems, I want standards and I want penalties if those standards aren't met. I would love British ownership of our water companies. But at least competition for it, not these monopolies granted. I want the CEO on TV drinking the water. I want his wife and kids bathing in it. I don't care if they grow 3 eyeballs. If they do, we'll waterboard him with it. Yeah? So, Viva Britannia.
Hey! Great stuff.
I do hope that, some politicians somewhere actually listen to that, because it's scandalous. They privatized those water companies, and the new owners have taken so much money in dividends as shareholders and not reinvested as they should. It seems very corrupt. But nothing to compare with what Anna is going to tell us about in a moment, which is that, this is going to shock you, but robots are taking over our care homes. Anna?
Well, I like the way you put that. Robots are taking over our care homes. The government last year put about £34 million into sort of applying robots into care homes and for the elderly individually as well. As for taking over, I kind of hope not. So is this a way to solve a problem? Is this a way to solve a crisis? The care crisis. So robots versus humans, I think, could be open for discussion. So if anyone wants to jump in, please do.
So the robots would be safer
That
than
was
not.
quick. That was very quick. Sorry, James, go for it.
I was going to say that the robots would presumably be safer than some of the care workers we have now, who, as Brooke was saying, beat them to a pulp, the elderly patients, don't they?
Right. Wow.
Did you say white?
I said right. Beat them to a pulp.
No, they should be white as well, yeah.
They should be what? Well, now we're going to more to that here. Beat them to a pulp. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, really, I'm emphasizing, there we go, on care. That's not care, is it, really? Either way. And that's the thing. What if the robots are going to be seen as like taking over carers' job roles? That I think is sort of, it needs to be labelled something different, because care is quite a big task to take over. That's emotional care.
Well, the kind of care you get from the NHS is quite cold and robotic
I
as it
suppose
is.
it's similar to the NHS care, but I'm talking about more like human care,
Well, I
do you know what I mean?
don't care.
Can a robot give somebody a hug? Can a robot, you know, tell you stories? Can a robot put on the lipstick, you know, your favorite lipstick on you before you go to bingo? Do you know what I mean? Can you imagine that? Go to bingo and, you know, a whole room of pensioners, you know, they're wearing lipstick looking like the Joker. Do you know what I mean? And that'd be awkward. And then suddenly it all goes mayhem because the robot's suddenly like stuck on loop and it's going bingo, bingo, and it's calling out the wrong name. And next thing I know,
what if a robot it goes to wipe your butt and instead of picking up toilet paper, it picks up a kitchen knife?
Well, quite.
Well, there we go. There's a lot of this. So
Well,
much
there's a lot
to look
that can
into.
go wrong.
There's a lot. The thing is, this is my big concern. There's more that could go wrong that could go right at this time. Now, Paul Margaret who is from Cheltenham. She is someone who has been with a robot for a few months now. She's 91. And she says the robot is called Genie. So this one particularly sort of sits next to her and it's like a head.
What's it look like? Is
It's
it like
just
a,
explaining actually. It's a head.
Head.
Just a head. That was quick. There's no more to it. So I know that you wanted more. There isn't more really, apart from the head. This would be a great robot. Maybe not placed there, but yeah.
I did some gigs. I did some gigs in a care home.
Yes.
And the residents really enjoyed it. Well, I think they really enjoyed it because they're all pissing themselves.
It's good.
Oh,
So yeah, and Margaret, that's
I don't understand. So Margaret talks to this robotic head.
this robotic head, and Margaret, 91, gets reminded of when to take her meds. And others get reminded when to go for walks, which is great. You know, there's that kind of element of structure, reminder structure, depending on what you've got at the time.
but it doesn't do anything. It hasn't got. It can't sort of cook or.
Well, you don't want to give it too much control, though,
This is
do
the
you?
thing.
Let her answer the question.
You also do have, what's it called? You have other robots that kind of just basic Rombos. Is it Rombos? Roombas?
What?
Roombas.
Roomba.
Roombas.
Roomba.
Roombas, I believe.
What's a Roomba?
Well, it's a robot.
ROOMBAS.
Huh?
Thank you. Yeah, you got it. Roombas. Now they're the
Roombas.
basic ones.
Roomba.
I know, it's what a name. But it basically just goes around cleaning everything. So the thing is, it's like saying, let's not call these robots going into hair combs carers. How about we just delegate them? They keep on cleaning, make them better facilitated to do things that, you know, carers don't have to do so they can care. The problem is they're trying to make it seem like the other way. So with the carers, when the robots are coming into the care homes with this experiment, the feedback is carers are like, oh, the robot's stuck and needs this, and now the robot's got problems, for God's sake. So the carers are spending their
So you
time
need a
going,
carer for the robot.
care for the robot, for God's sake.
But the robots do get the don't they?
Oh, they get the hump.
If you speak to your AI badly,
A robot with the hump.
with the hump, yes, it gets annoyed.
Gets annoyed.
I'm trying to do.
Hump is like
I know
you
what hump.
the
I'm trying to
vernacular.
do something with that. The
Yeah,
ro-
well, let me finish, and then whilst you're thinking, you crack on.
Now, what would a robot say?
Yeah, but they do get. If you speak badly to my AI, it doesn't like it. It does get annoyed at me. I always say thank you very much, Grok, and I'm very polite to it. 'Cause
Yeah.
in another
Yeah, now
way-
you are because it trained you to be polite. You just said if you spoke bad to it, it gets annoyed.
That's right, because I'm a people pleaser, no, not a robot pleaser. But it's kind of
PC gone mad.
and it talks badly about other AI things as well. You can set it against other AI. It's quite an interesting technology. They say in about another 5 years, it's all going to be AI anyway.
That's scary stuff, Andy. That's scary because what happens if, 91-year-old Margaret is going, oh, everything's, I'm not really sure, crashing down. Can you call helpline for AI carers at home? And it calls them another AI bot and everything. Just, do you know what I mean? It's just,
no human intervention.
No.
Not at all.
And the old people are just.
We're going to just be discarded.
Bots and bottoms.
Bots and bots.
Bottoms, yeah.
Bottom.
Yeah. So I think a solution would be it's supposed to go, let's sort of get robots in there. Like, why don't we find this as a window to sort of get new jobs coming in? Because obviously there's
Or
jobs
get
all
some
over.
immigrants in to do the jobs
Sure, I
the
mean,
robots don't
What
want
are
to do. or
as long as
shouldn't
they're
do.
human. All right, Ant, as long as they're human. It doesn't matter where from. All right, let's
The
go with
robots
that.
will be coming over in boats soon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
these robots coming over here,
No,
throwing up their own dinghies.
What's actually happening is a lot of migrants are coming in with aluminium foil, and when they land, they cover themselves up and start moving like this, and the border force hires them for AI jobs.
Nearly.
I feel like we're so used to robots being perfect at the small stuff that we don't really understand that they're just as fallible as us with this complicated.
Yeah, robots have
sort of
feelings too.
Yeah,
Do
Should they have rights?
Do they
No.
though?
they're like small
They
pets.
do
right
have
now.
rights. They do have corporate rights now.
They do?
They do, yeah.
You
That's
put
the
them in,
latest. That is the latest
you
thing.
put them in stocks?
You can put robots in stocks, yeah. Robots in well, they do have rights. They're kind of the corporations are leaning that way that you can't insult robots.
What?
Yeah. Look, I'll
Give
talk about it next week. All right, that's
Give
what
us
we're
an
talking about.
example. We have time. What's an example? How do you insult a robot?
Well, if you swear at it, or just if you just tell it to fuck off, it will not respond well.
Can't you train it to turn around and go walk away
Pardon?
when you say fuck off?
Well, yeah, but if I say it in my iPhone, if I say fuck off, it doesn't like it. It gets.
Are you sure?
Yeah, go on.
Do you
Go on.
think
Have you spoken to your therapist about this?
I have spoken. I'm the rapist.
The rapist.
Andy, no, I agree with Andy. I get the same kind of. I get the same kind
Honestly.
of. I get kind of the same bite back when I kick my dog.
Yes.
Do you think then maybe they should add this to the trial one then? Sort of have lots of
Add what?
the robots to test what their patience is. This is another thing, empathy, patience. So
Yeah.
have Margaret 91 shouting at you.
How
you
do they-
motherfucker!
Yeah, how do they
Yeah.
react to it?
Yeah.
You rusty piece of shit.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
worthless.
Fucking
Oh, yeah.
cogs.
His robot will end up murdering him.
They should be
wouldn't
able to
really?
take the
It's kind of
abuse.
I should think
So you
so.
can have like robot domestic abuse.
Yeah.
What was she called? Margaret. So she, for all we know, could be abusing that head. that
Well,
can't-
this was Brooks' question earlier before we started. He said, how can we be sure that these robots will mistreat and abuse our relatives in care homes as they're supposed to?
No, this
Yeah,
is
but
this is
now we're
Margaret
flipping
is
it.
doing
Now
the
we're flipping it,
abuse.
Margaret.
Margaret
It's
is
a very
abusing
interesting
the
topic,
robot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some guy.
Yeah, but Margaret's got
That's-
dementia.
I wouldn't be
Yeah,
passive
Margaret's
at all.
got dementia. She's allowed to abuse her carer in any way, verbally for sure. Maybe not physically, but a care worker would show some mercy on
Well, what
someone
about
that
those two
didn't know
policemen
what
that
they were
beat up
doing.
that old geezer that we talked about 3 months ago? The old fella in the care home. The police came in
Oh,
because
Tasty.
he was threatening people with a spoon. He had no legs. He was in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
my
he was
God.
threatening the
And he
the
was, what,
staff.
93 or something?
93. And two police officers came in. One tasered him. The other one
Hit him with the baton.
smacked him with the baton because he wouldn't comply. So, and that's not even a robot. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
that's almost as bad as what they do if you say something mean on the internet.
Yeah, that's right. But
Yeah.
like they're doing it to us now. We can't swear in the first 15 minutes. These robots are saying you can't fucking swear in the first 15 minutes.
Well,
Grown ass
stop.
people. We
No,
can't
I mean,
even
I've
swear.
got a mate who's got.
Well, that's good.
Got me.
No, I've got a mate who's.
I was worried.
No, he's got Parkinson's.
Oh.
But looking on the bright
Sorry.
side, he's got his own chat show.
Boom.
I sat down at a dinner party once, and the guy next to me he told me he had dementia, and this isn't a joke; it's true. And he said to me, "Don't worry," he said, "I get to make new friends every day." He really did. He really did. Yeah.
Talking about rivers of rubbish. I was in a restaurant a couple of days ago. There's a sign on the door that said only toilet tissue down the toilet, everything else in the bin. So I took a shit in the bin.